Time for another update. Bitcoin is dropping down. We've hit 26k and USD was depegging today as well. Crypto is dropping and altcoins are dropping even more. And now the question becomes what's going to happen next and what should you be doing? This update is going to be a relatively short update in which we're covering the price action and the expectations of Bitcoin from the technical standpoint of view. Later today we're going to make a longer update regarding the markets or maybe even going live, but it's a little bit depending on what I'm going to do in my private life today, if I'm able to do so. Before we're going to continue, make sure to subscribe beneath, like this YouTube update, and check out my Twitter and Instagram where I'm posting daily content on the markets. Yesterday we went live twice, in which we were expecting the markets to actually bounce from the fact that the CPI data came out. We did. After that, we started to see a correction even more as also the indices were dropping, and then the collapse started to happen even further as the USDT debacking started to happen, out of which we created a lot of fear again in the markets. Honestly, the expectations are that we're literally going to zero. However, if you know from the past, or if you have been looking at the past, the USDT depacking has been happening in the past too. Usually when there is such a high volume of volatility or high volume in the markets in itself, it depacks for a little while and then it comes back to one. People should understand that USDT and UST are two completely different projects and algorithms as well. UST in itself, and I've been saying that after the actual event took place or when we started to drop down, UST and Luna are a self-destroying system, and in a death spiral, it's gone, it's over, it will not be fixed. USDT, however, might have issues with the collateral, but it's backed and it's a completely different system in which, yes, it could be collapsing, but the status or the statements that we will be collapsing with USDT at this point do not make sense. It has been going through heavy volatility previously. This is a unique case, but the depacking has been happening in the previous years too. So what do we see with the markets right now is that we're dropping even further from that panic, from the fact that the USDT is depacking, from the fact that macroeconomic, we still have some issues. With last one, I think we're actually going to go back up relatively soon, or at least the indices will be bouncing relatively soon based on the fact that the inflation is flattening, but it will take a little bit of time to actually get into the markets. Now, when you have a position when it comes to crypto and altcoins, if you look at the chart and you would not be having any position at all, what would you be doing as a first glance? If you were looking at the markets right now, you see projects like Chainlink or Tezos or Scale or even Ethereum or Polkadot making such a vertical drop. Your first instinct would say, hey, this is a massive opportunity. If you have that thought process, definitely you should not be putting all your money into an altcoin. But DCA strategy is still the right way to go forward with, because the actual impact of the markets right now is probably going to be temporary. If you look at the previous capitulation events, the bounce is quite fast because everyone is currently shorting the markets, expecting the markets to drop down even more, which could still be happening. We could still be seeing Bitcoin towards 24 or 20k. I mean, we are currently in the events that are taking place, which makes it very risky to make any judgment. You can only look at the levels. But what I know for sure is that when the USDT depacking is done and we are back towards one again, and Luna in itself is also fading away, which will be in the coming days slowly, that will be the moment that the altcoins will start bouncing back up. And because the majority is shorting at this point, look at the funding rates, it will create a slight short squeeze, which we always see at the capitulation events in which we bounce back quite fast. So if you're looking at your portfolio right now, it is a temporary price that you're seeing. It's also the same when things start to go vertical upwards. It's a temporary price value of your portfolio in which you should not be basing actions on the current ones, on the current price movements. You should have been making a plan previously, and you should be starting to evaluate the current price action if you would not be having any position. And that strategy should apply to your current portfolio. That is what I want to say about the altcoins and your view right now. Let's look at what the price action of Bitcoin is and what I want to see when it comes to downwards or upwards movements. So when we're looking at the price action of Bitcoin, I'm going to keep it relatively clean and small here. I mean, we've got this downwards break at 37.5, then we tested this entire block that we got here at 30k. We got a slight bounce, but then we started to correct even more based from the USDT levels, right, or the USDT situation. And because of that, we have seen the increasing volume taking place here. The volume has been reaching peak numbers on all assets. And that volume has been taking away all the liquidity beneath the lows here. So that is gone. On the downside, all the liquidity has been taken. Depending on how the daily is going to close, it looks a lot like we're going to see some more relief rally taking place here, as the RSI is also reaching numbers we have not been seeing since the previous crashes. But depending on that fact, we also have a few levels to watch. So on the downside, we've got 24k and 26k, and then obviously we got 20k as well, right? But if we look at the case right now, is that USDT depegging has a short-term impact on the markets, but it will not be staying like this. It will probably fade away, and that's why the liquidity that has been taken beneath the lows is a signal that all the downside risk has been taking place already. However, because of this impact here, people are shorting, and I'm assuming that the moment we are going to see it settle down and there's going to be some more or slight momentum to the upside, to breaking 29.6 is going to result into a fast recovery towards approximately 32 to 34k. That is what I'm assuming here, where the bottom longers will be starting to take profits, or people will be starting to take shorts once again. So if I look at the markets at this point, the crucial breaker for me to break through is 29.6. If that one breaks, I think we're going to start moving upwards quite fast towards 34, as all the shorters are getting squeezed out. If we're looking at 29.6 and we can't break that level, I'm assuming we're going to go towards 24 or 20k, and that's what we're looking at for potential longs once again. However, at this point, I think the worst has been done. Ethereum, highest volume since the crash in May, also been retesting this level here. Assumption is that we're going to get some momentum back upwards here as well, and you can actually see it on all the altcoins. Chainlink, same view, vertical price action downwards, in which the crucial one is going to be Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is able to break through 29.6, I think we retest 34. If not, then I'm looking at 24k next. And I think that I'm favorable of still looking at longs. And yes, I'm underwater on my longs as well, but I'm assuming that that is a temporary case, and usually you cannot actually get the actual bottom of the market. You have to scale into your positions. Don't try to become that bottom buyer, which is impossible to do so. I'll be back later today or tomorrow or with the live stream. Just stay tuned. If you follow my Twitter, you will be knowing it. Make sure to follow me there. Make sure to subscribe here. Like the YouTube video, and I'll see you again later. Ciao.